I'm not going to seriously question that. It doesn't matter whether you consider yourself crazy or not, because that's just to keep humble. But you know that you're sane. And the thing is, the 16 years ago when you were in the trailer is like very important to know about.
From Sally, okay.
No, from Molly.
Molly, yes.
Or whoever you are, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so...
You would just have this thought kept coming to you, and you questioned it, and then you'd be like bed at night, or waking up, or taking a walk around the yard, or down the road, and it would come to you, right?
Like most teenagers do, in their little room, with
In
their
their
lights, and their little electric guitars, and their music, you know.
Yeah.
Cigarettes, or whatever they're doing, you know.
Yeah. So you're around your room and just, you know, circulating through life. You're dropping out, and this, like, occurred to you.
Smoking ganja out of a potato.
Yeah.
That I kept stuffed in a pillow.
Oh, you did all the stuff that I was doing.
Yeah. And I can actually right now sink into, like, one specific time. Like I said, I recall the books across the room where I was studying paganism and witchcraft and the Necronomicon, which is the Book of the Dead.
But when you were studying all that stuff, what did you think about it? You're into, like, some really dark stuff. Like, dark and, like, black magic, evil people that, you know, don't want the goodness of the world. I knew that it freaked my mother out.
Like, I knew that much.
I know, but what do you mean it freaked? What did you know about that stuff?
She one day went in my room and threw all those books away, like...
Okay, but when you had the books, before she threw it away, what were you getting out of it? What was the big deal?
Definitely the feminine. The feminine came from that. Like, there was a very feminine energy that I was looking for. I think for me, that side was trying to find what a young girl would look for in her mother. Magic, ritual. There's ritual that creates energy and momentum into your life so that you wake up and you're not discombobulated, you know?
But even at that time that you were looking at that, so it still came to you that you had some really important role to fulfill in Christianity.
Yes.
What was the understanding?
I just remember sitting there, and I remember it sinking in. It was always there. I could just feel it sinking in, about 16 years old. And I knew that it was a feeling of God, Christ, you know, who that is, you know. They talk about Jesus, you know. I'm hearing Jesus a lot at this point in my life from other older people and stuff. And for me, it's like, you know, I'm actually trying to push them out of my life. So Jesus is kind of connected with that. But in my deep little secretive room, in my space, you know, with my little witchcraft books, I could feel that Jesus had something to do with, like, this really beautiful part of survival. It was what kept me alive, like, time after time. And there was a protective energy from that. And it was very powerful, and I knew without a doubt that I was connected to that army of light, that vibrance in the world that keeps that alive, and that I knew that I was chosen as that, and there was
would you call this
no way that I could avoid it. You know, it was just my fate.
And nobody was bringing it to you.
It was like a blessing.
Not these
like I had to hide,
Christian like people that were trying to influence you. They weren't bringing this to you. This came from within you.
I ran from those people. I mean, those people, like, freaked me out. Like,
yeah, they weren't, like,
yeah,
bringing Jesus to you.
No. And they were scared of my witchcraft books. So I had them all fooled. They're thinking, I'm like, you know, oh, God, what's she doing? She's reading those books, you know.
Reading those books.
Jesus, we got to pray for her even harder, you know. And they have no idea that, like, all along, I'm in my room, and, like, it's all, like, just momentum around me spinning, and I'm perfectly safe within it all. And I knew that Jesus is not, like, a kinky love. I feel it's not, like, really about, like, that. It's deeper than that. It was more of a trust. I always had a trust, and the trust that had to come from within me. It couldn't come from anybody outside of me, and that trust was connected to, you know, this Jesus and this godly figure. It was powerful, and all I had to do anytime I was scared or anytime I wondered in life was just ask that energy that I could center in with that. ask it a question.
Mm.
Just ask, and I would always receive a clear sign. And I knew that I was doing everything right. Didn't matter if I sought that God and that light through beating a drum, or burning a candle, or piercing my nose at that time.
The rituals.
Yeah,
Like
it
the
didn't matter. Like I knew it was the same. Why did these people preach that all these things that I'm reading about are so bad, but yet I'm practicing and studying these things, and people would say I'm going straight to hell, but yet I feel God beaming down towards me, sending messages and light and protective love constantly.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know. They don't know. They're not the judge of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not. So they were just doing it because they only knew their way.
Yeah.
In name. They knew their way in name. Like they could call out the name. But, you know, there's different things here. Like you are much closer to the source of it.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, good. So we know verified. Like, would you call it? Would you use the word prophecy to it?
Yeah,
Is it
that
a
used
prophecy?
to be a favorite word that I
So you're a
had.
prophet then?
Prophet. Yeah, a
You're
lot
a
of my early
prophet.
poetry revealed to me that I was having these like prophetic visions.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wouldn't understand them. They'd spew out so fast, and I just like even write in the dark sometimes. And like the next day, 3 days later, 10 years later, I read it,